You've done everything right this week. Meetings back to back, no buffer to even find a bathroom, maybe a red-eye flight for work, and you still had to show up sharp the next morning. You skipped the gym again, not because you didn't want to go, but because you couldn't risk what your gut might do mid-session. And somewhere in there, your body decided to flare anyway. Not because of the one food you forgot to track. I lived through mast cell activation myself, and what I eventually discovered changed the way I think about gut inflammation completely. Give me the next 5 minutes. I'm Rachel and I help clients understand the biology behind Crohn's and ulcerative colitis so they can stop chasing random triggers and start understanding what's actually driving the inflammation. And this one's personal. I dealt with mast cell activation syndrome myself. So when I read the research on mast cells, I'm not reading it as someone fascinated by the science. I'm reading it as someone who's lived what happens when these cells refuse to switch off. In every video, my goal is the same. It's to help you understand what's actually happening inside your body. Because once you understand the biology, you stop guessing and start making decisions that actually move things forward. The biggest mistake I see people with Crohn's or colitis make is hunting for one cause. Is it gluten? Is it dairy? Is it stress? Is it my microbiome? The honest answer is usually yes, all of it, at once. Because your immune system doesn't work in isolated boxes, it works as a network. So the cycle repeats. Cut another food, try another elimination diet, add another supplement. Keep hunting for the one trigger nobody's found yet. The one that once removed will finally let you plan a weekend without mapping every bathroom en route. Why doesn't this work? It's because mast cells don't just respond to food, they respond to stress hormones, the kind that spike when you're 3 meetings deep with no break. They respond to a disrupted body clock, red eyes, late nights, inconsistent meals. They respond to changes in your microbiome, damage in the gut barrier, inflammatory signals from other immune cells, even nearby nerves. Think of mast cells as your gut's emergency services. Their job is to sound the alarm when something genuinely threatens the body. The problem is when they get stuck in on, when someone keeps pulling the fire alarm even though there's no fire. They release histamine and a cascade of other inflammatory chemicals. And those chemicals recruit more immune cells, weaken the gut barrier, stimulate nerves, and amplify the whole response. Mast cells aren't just participating in inflammation, they're directing traffic. And once that network is switched on, cutting one food rarely switches it back off. Here's how I encourage people to think about chronic inflammation instead. Step 1 is to stop looking for one villain. Chronic inflammation is a network problem, not a single food problem. Step 2 is to ask what's keeping the alarm switched on. Is it a body clock that's never had a stable rhythm, inconsistent sleep, meals, energy, chronic stress with no real recovery windows, a gut barrier under constant low-grade damage? Usually it's several of these compounding at once, and at the centre of most of them is a nervous system and a gut that have never been given a steady rhythm to work from. Step 3 is to support the whole system, not just the symptom. When the gut and nervous system get a stable, predictable rhythm again, the alarm calms down on its own, because it's no longer reacting to constant inconsistency. And when you deal with the other things placing stress on your gut and your energy production, the alarm has less to react to in the first place. For me, that was environmental toxins triggering my mast cells, mycotoxins. Once I got into that, I realized they touch everything. Gut health, the nervous system, the brain, energy production, all of it. So why does this work? It's because once you stop asking what's causing my inflammation and start asking what's keeping this network switched on, everything shifts. Your decisions get more targeted, more logical, far less exhausting. You stop chasing symptoms and start understanding biology. Not one problem with one cause, multiple systems in constant conversation with each other. And right in the middle of that conversation, mast cells. Mast cells reacting to a body that's never been given a rhythm to settle into. The real shift isn't finding one hidden trigger, it's realizing chronic gut inflammation is rarely driven by one mechanism. It's maintained by an entire network, and that network takes its cues from how steady or chaotic your days actually are. Mast cells are part of that network. So is your gut barrier, your microbiome, your nervous system. Look at the network instead of hunting for the villain, and the whole approach to healing changes. What's the biggest trigger you've discovered in your own IBD journey? Drop it in the comments, I read every one.